Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the garage. Gerald here with you. I am thrilled to let everybody know that this year I'm going to be covering the Fantasia Film Festival for the first time. I will be covering it remotely, and I want to thank the folks at Fantasia for giving me the accreditation this year. I'm really excited to check out some of these horror and genre films. Fantasia is a film festival that's basically known for lifting up and displaying genre films such as horror, sci-fi, fantasy, and even action spectacles. Some of the more notable titles that have premiered initially at the Fantasia Fest are films like When Evil Lurks from Argentina, which was my favorite horror film of 2023 actually. Raw, which was the debut from Julia Ducournau. Talk to Me a couple years ago, of course, the wildly successful psychological horror from the Philippou brothers that ended up being picked up by A24. And speaking of A24, Robert Eggers' debut film The Witch back in 2016 initially premiered at Fantasia. But they also dabble in the strange. There'll be shit that you've never heard of that you probably never will hear of. And they also added short films to their repertoire in recent years, including the feature-length films, some of the vintage films that they show, and the shorts. Over 150 titles are screened. I wanted to tell you 10 titles that I am most excited to check out from Fantasia Fest. First up, there are 2 films that have already premiered at prior film festivals, but are going to be screened at Fantasia that I hope I receive access to, because these have been on my most anticipated list of the year. One of them is Together, the psychological horror film from Michael Shanks, which stars Dave Franco and Alison Brie, and there's some weird shit going on with animals and connectivity to them. I don't really know. I've seen the trailer and it looks fucking bonkers. That's not in the top 10 because that's kind of a mainstream release. The other mainstream release is Eddington from Ari Aster, which of course is his latest project. That one premiered at Cannes to mixed reviews. But whenever Ari Aster does a film, especially with this cast, Austin Butler, Emma Stone, Joaquin Phoenix, etc., I'm in. I can't wait to check out Aster's new project, regardless of what people are saying. First up, making my list of most anticipated out of Fantasia is a movie called Dollhouse out of Japan. Anytime you get any kind of possessed dolls, you got me. I'm in. A child disappears from home and there is no explanation. The girl's parents search for her endlessly to no avail. One day, the mother finds a large doll on the market that helps her compensate for the pain of losing her daughter. When the mother becomes pregnant again, the doll shows signs of life. This sounds fucking weird. I cannot wait. Next up, Find Your Friends. This one jumped out to me because it stars Bella Thorne, which is obviously a very popular American actress. She's maybe most well known for her role in the 2 Babysitter films. Amber and her 4 best girlfriends take a trip to escape the LA bubble and cut loose in the Joshua Tree. But upon arrival, the locals don't want them there. So maybe do we have like a Hills Have Eyes or a Descent type situation with Bella Thorne? Sign me up. How about this one? A French film called Flush. Listen to the synopsis. Finding his ex in the nightclub where she works and convincing her to come back to live with him, that should be doable. However, removing his head stuck in the toilet bowl is not a given. There you see the poster. The main, I guess, protagonist or main character of the film, his head is in the toilet for the majority of this movie. Another one I'm extremely excited to check out is a director lead combo, and it's called Fuck Toys. Amidst a mental spiral due to her tooth falling out, P consults her psychic, who explains that a nasty black magic curse has been placed upon her, and to break it, she'll need to sacrifice a lamb and pay $1,000. With her comrade at hijinks, Danny in tow, the pair journey far and wide on a quest to round up some cash and break the curse. Holy shit. Next up is a film from filmmaker Ben Leonberg called Good Boy. Do you ever wonder why your dog stares at empty corners, barks for no reason, or refuses to go into the basement? Good Boy is the story of a dog who sees everything that goes bump in the night. No talking pets, just terrifying scares. And it's got an actual dog in it, no CGI, no puppets. It's just a dog who does look like a good boy, so it's not false advertising at least. Hold the Fort, an HOA, Homeowners Association, turns out to be more troublesome than usual in this wildly amusing FX heavy freakout about newly minted suburbanites unexpectedly forced to take part in a struggle against monstrous forces. It sounds like a creature feature mixed with the horrors of a homeowners association. I'm in. A little one called I Live Here Now from Julie Pacino. This one jumped out at me, obviously, because of the name. This is Al Pacino's daughter, and it's her second feature film that she's put out. A woman finds herself trapped in a remote hotel where the violent echoes of her past come to life, blurring the lines between her darkest nightmares and the waking world. Sounds a bit psychological. A Pacino behind the lens. Gotta see what this one's all about. And in keeping with the theme of famous fathers in cinema, George Romero's daughter, and yes, that George Romero, his daughter Tina Romero is going to have a filming competition at Fantasia, and it's called Queens of the Dead. It also stars Katie O'Brien, who I loved in Love Lies Bleeding, and she recently showed up with Tom Cruise in The Final Reckoning Mission Impossible. When a zombie apocalypse breaks out in Brooklyn on the night of a giant warehouse party, an eclectic group of drag queens must put aside their drama and use their unique skills to fight against the brain-thirsty, scrolling undead. This is a zombie film featuring drag queens that was directed by the daughter of George Romero. You had me at, well, any of that. Now this one sounds like a multiverse film I can get behind. It's called Redo, Redo. A woman travels the multiverse, killing her daughter's murderer over and over again. She grows addicted to the revenge streak, putting her own humanity in jeopardy. So she becomes addicted to time traveling and killing. I can't wait to see this. And you guys have probably heard of Japanese filmmaker Takashi Miike, and he did Audition, Ichi the Killer, 13 Assassins. That guy, he's awesome. He's got a film called Sham that's going to be showing at Fantasia. When a young student shows signs of trauma, his parents act swiftly against his middle school teacher, but all may not be as it seems, leading to the scales of justice to tip in a fascinating and heartbreaking way. I don't know, the poster looks intriguing, and it's Miike, so it's probably gonna be fucking weird. Look down below in the description and check out Fantasia's website. You can see all the titles that are gonna be screening, and of course, if you're in Canada and you're able to attend the festival, I would highly recommend doing that. I wish that's something that I could do personally, but I have kids and they need me, so I don't know. I will be covering films that I see from Fantasia, and I hope that some of the 10 that I mentioned to you and sparked your interest a little bit. Let me know down below if you're looking forward to any of these films from Fantasia. Have you ever been to the festival? Would you like to go to the festival? Is it for the sickos? Because that's what I heard, and that's why I applied for accreditation. I'll see you guys next time in the garage.